John 5:39. We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of our King and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach. We'll pick it up in John chapter 5 and about verse 39, where it says, "Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And ye will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you." I want you to come over here to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 real fast about something that I just said to y'all, man, which y'all got to sit back and realize. And we're going to look at about verse 14. And when we look at 1 Corinthians 2 and 14, I'm going to start on a particular track and we're going to see how y'all work it. After we look at 1 Corinthians 2 and 14, we're going to look at 1 John chapter 2 and about verse 3. Because I say, man, the thing that I seen and the thing that Brittany found that T-Sun to me was quite disturbing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that anybody would even go for that. It's one thing if they ain't never heard nothing. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. It's one thing if you say, all right, I ain't listening to that nigga no more. I'm going somewhere else. But you shouldn't be going, like, these niggas went backwards. You know what I'm saying? How you done heard too much word to sit back and hear something and turn around and end up stupid. Nigga couldn't even sell me the stuff they purchased. He say, but the natural man received not the things of the spirit of Elohim, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judge all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who have known the mind of the master that he may instruct him, or the mind of Yah that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of a Mashiach. Before we even look at 1 John chapter 2, this man say, but he is judged of no man. Come back over here to John chapter 5 and just look what he say. Matter of fact, and we'll look in John chapter 8. Just look at John chapter 5. Matter of fact, I'll just make it John chapter 8. John chapter 8 and about verse 12. This man say a spiritual man ain't judged by no man. He say, but he judgeth all things. He say, then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Now, one of the things and the thing that I seen that were quite disturbing, he said that you back to Torah people are teaching corruption and bondage. You understand what I'm telling you? See what he say now? And he says that Hamashiach came with a better and new covenant. Now, I'm going to speak to you, gentlemen. I don't want to quote the idiot wrong. So let me read what he said. I don't want to quote the idiot wrong. But gentlemen, I'm going to ask y'all a question in just one moment, sir. I must deconstruct. He said he brought a new and better covenant for the Hebrew and Gentile people. What would be new and better about the covenant that he brought? And if it's new, why is it new? And if it's better, why is it better? Anybody? Because it's being connected to eternal life. So how can we sit back off of memory? Because the reason why I'm doing this here, because this man say the word Torah was only mentioned in one place. We're going to have to, everything I seen, I got to deconstruct it. And it ain't to deconstruct it about Apostle Bennett, because I don't even know who this nigga is. You know what I'm saying? And per truth be told, the individuals that went to go follow behind this ministry, I don't even care that they went. Because that's your choice. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? But because of the information that I seen was so preposterous and so ridiculous that I got to make sure that if any of y'all here and you fall for it, you know you going to hell because you know you were doing something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I must make that abundantly clear. I have to do that. Do y'all understand and do you follow me? So now when we turn around and we look at this, how did he bring, because he said anybody who follow me, they don't walk in darkness, they walk in the light of life. How is this going to be possible then? He said he the light of the world. Anybody follow him, they walk in light. We know he said, well, let's look at Isaiah 8 and 20. We still get the 1 John, you hold John 8. We still get the 1 John chapter 2. Just hold it. Just hold 1 John 2 and 3. You know, this is a Hebrew Israelite favorite verse we finna read here in Isaiah 8 and 20, but we finna read it anyway. I read verse 18 just on general principle. Bring a couple things to your remembrance. I be on y'all about being stupid. Some of y'all can't help but be stupid. It's in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to sit back and maybe some of y'all, man, I'll be honest with you, man. Just because I know how the word work. Some of y'all gonna be saved. Some of y'all ain't no hope for y'all. And ain't no hope for y'all because I don't want to be no hope for y'all. You really ain't got a heart to want to do this. You know you ain't got a heart to want to do it. You just don't want to quit because you worry about what other people gonna say. You know what I'm saying? You worry about what your people gonna say, or even what some of these people on their phone gonna say, because some of y'all itching to go back to do what you always been. Some of y'all ain't never stopped doing what you always been doing. Some of you ain't never stopped. The only time you stop is when you round other people who's supposed to be doing what you doing. Then you put your righteous face on. But when they leave, you back to being a nigga. Because I know some of you niggas done did some junk you ain't had no business doing in the last 4 weeks. Matter of fact, let's just make it 8.5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, boy, I know I ain't got no business doing this. Some of y'all know you done entertained some stuff. It don't even necessarily if you win in sin. You just know you put yourself in a situation or circumstance you ain't had no business putting yourself in. Then, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. All right, brother. How you doing? Y'all gonna be rude? Golly. Y'all some rude black people, boy. Hey, I said 8:18. But you hard as concrete. He ain't know. He ain't know.
I'm just saying, so weird to going somebody come here.
Nah, they gonna do that there.
They keep going.
I might let it say,
Player.
you know what I'm saying? I might like to say, hey now, I'm gonna keep on rolling. Look at that brother there. He all right. Isaiah 8:18. He said, behold, I and the children whom Yahuwah have given me are for signs and for wonders, and Yasharah from Yahuwah of hosts, which dwell in Mount Zion. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and mutter, should not a people seek unto their Elohim for the living to the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And they shall pass through it, hardly be stead and hungry. And it shall come to pass, when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves, and curse their king and their Elohim, and look upward. And they shall look unto the earth, and behold, trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness. What do you think this could mean? Because I'm also touching on, because Brother Trav went and looked at it, and he say the dude say we ain't supposed to follow nothing in the scriptures. We only supposed to follow what the apostle said. So that means we're going to have to sit back and we're going to have to look at what the apostle said. He say specifically what Apostle Paul said. If I'm saying that, that sounds like Sunday service. Because you know Sunday people hold Paul to great esteem. We hold Paul to much esteem too. But we know Paul ain't said nothing different than what these law and the prophets say. Wouldn't y'all agree? So when you know he say I and the sons that I have are for signs, what is that talking about, gentlemen? For those of y'all who can remember. It's been a while. I'm gonna see who remember though. Some of y'all wasn't around, so you may not remember. I see who went and watched a video or two and say, I remember when I heard that. Because I know you ain't went and looked at it. That's why you quiet right now. Didn't he tell you in the 28th chapter of Matthew that his apostles will walk around working signs? Didn't John chapter 20 tell you many signs Yahushua work that are not even written in this book? Don't Acts chapter 4 talk about all the signs and wonders Peter all in word? But now, so what does that mean when he tell you don't seek to the dead, seek to the living? What that reminds you of? Them going to that grave when that Malachim told them, what you coming here for? What you looking for the living among the dead for? What you come around here for? See, this is old news for some of y'all, and new stuff for others. That's why we not going back to go read it, just reference it. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it to your remembrance a tad. You know what some of y'all problem is? Y'all do just like what he told them in the book of Luke. Why seek the living? He said, let the dead bury the dead. See, y'all around here looking for the living amongst the dead. Always in your people face talking about you need to keep Shabbat and stop eating swine. They say when you take them pants off, nigga, I sure do it. You know what I'm saying? You stop cussing, I sure do it. When you put that liquor bottle down, I'll gladly do it. Say then you had that nigga around here the other day with your booty in there. I heard you in there moaning. When you start doing that, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all be professing a lot of stuff, ain't living none of it. So when he say here in verse 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they don't speak according to this word, there is no light in them. What you think that could mean? This every Israelite favorite verse now. What you think it could mean? He say if they don't speak according to the law and to the testimony, ain't no light in it. Hamashiach say if you walk in him, he the light of the world. He say if you walk in him, you don't walk in darkness. But I'm talking about, you sure about that? You positive about it? You positive that's what I'm thinking about? I ain't talking about John 8:12. He say if they don't speak according to this word, there ain't no light in them. What you say, Dwayne?
The law is our life.
Well, let's look at Luke. Let's look at Luke 24 and 25. He say if they don't, you supposed to already peep the game. He say, why would you go looking for the living among the dead? Then he say to the law and to the testimony, if they don't speak according to this word, ain't no light in them. We know in him was the light, and the light was the life of men. We know when Moses broke them first tables of stone, he made 2 of them. And what happened when he made the other 2? His face was shining. It was bright like light, showing you eternal life, right? You know what I'm saying? Moses was coming down with them 2 tables of stone, speaking of what? According to the law and the testimony. That's what he was doing. So it was light in him then. You see what I'm talking about? You see how the law line up with that now? He was speaking according to the law and the testimony. Because there wasn't no testimony of Mashiach at that time when Isaiah spoke them words. But Mashiach hadn't been manifested yet. So the first time we see somewhere in our law with somebody speaking according to the law and the testimony, and it would light him, it with Moses. Right? So when we look at Luke 24 and 25, let's see what's going on. Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not a Mashiach to suffer these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them all the scriptures, the things concerning himself. So when we turn around and look at verse 44, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which are written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved a Mashiach to suffer and to rise from the dead the 3rd day. And that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. So when we turn back around and we come over here and look in Revelation chapter 1, we still holding John 8 and 1 John chapter 2. Come over here to Revelation chapter 1. If he done spoke according to the law and the testimony, then obviously it's got to be some light in him, wouldn't you say? So when we look at Revelation chapter 1 and about verse 13. And it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, if they burned in a furnace, and his voice is as the voice of the sound of many waters. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp sword, and in his countenance was as the sun shine in his strength. If his countenance was as the sun shine in his strength, what that mean? He had light. Same way he had transfigured on the mountain and he was light, wasn't he? Shining. So that's how you sit back and you look at, because you know, to the law and to the testimony, that's every Israelite favorite verse to run to. When they don't realize Hamashiach felt that too. Because when he spoke according to the law and the testimony, he showed eternal life was in him because the word was in it. How else you going to have eternal life unless the word is in you? So if the word is in him, that means the law got to be in him too. See, now come around here to 1 John chapter 2. That means the law got to be in him too. He said he came to bring a new and better covenant. The only new covenant he was coming to bring because the old covenant had been broken. And we know from our law, we seen when Moses broke it and made a new one. The difference was it was going to sustain you to life, not sustain you to live any kind of lifestyle you wanted. 1 John 2 and 3. Hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him and keep not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Well, hold what you got. Let's look at John 8 and 54, and let's see what the Mashiach say. Because this man going to try to say, when he say keep his commandments, this talking about some other manner of commandment. But let's see what the Mashiach says. And then you go get you Malachi chapter 3 and about verse 18, and go on and get Proverbs chapter 3 and about verse 1. It said, Yahusha answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honor me, of whom you say that he is your Elohim. Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say, I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you, but I know him and keep his saying. So if he keep his saying, what is he keeping? He keeping what he was told to do. Now you turn around and you look at it. He was keeping the instructions that he was given. You turn around and you look at it, right? What did the Most High tell Moses to go do? He gave him a law. He told him to teach statutes and judgments and Yasharal. Not only to teach him, he had to do them too, didn't he? So if Hamashiach is a prophet like under Moses, you don't think that he would come and do the same thing? That don't make, then he wouldn't be a prophet like under Moses then. Because Moses never taught the people to do anything contrary to the law. I guess we'll look at that in a minute. Let me look at it in Malachi chapter 3. Y'all just work with me. I make sure y'all ain't stupid now. Y'all follow me. We still holding Isaiah chapter 8 too. Don't lose it. Malachi 3 and 16. Then they that feared Yahuwah spake often one to another. Now, the fear of Yah is the beginning of what? And if you go look at Ecclesiastes 8 and 1, it say wisdom calls a man's face to shine. So if the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom, and we know fear is respect, reverential awe and respect, which means you would obey. Because if I be a father, where's my honor? And if I be a master, where's my fear? Where's my respect? He said, why call me master, master, and you don't do the things that I say? How am I your sovereign? How am I your ruler? And you don't do nothing I tell you to do. How that make any sense? So that don't make any sense for a Mashiach to do different. Look what else he say. He say, then they that fear Yahuwah spake often one to another, and Yahuwah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahuwah and thought upon his name. Do you realize this pertains to a Mashiach as well? How does this pertain to a Mashiach, gentlemen? How does this pertain to a Mashiach, gentlemen? He say, then they that feared Yahuwah spake often one to another. He heard it. A book of remembrance was written for them that feared Yahuwah and thought on his name. If there's a book of remembrance, that means your name written in the Shamahim then, right? So how is this pertain to a Mashiach? Remember, we dealt with this when he said, all my members are written in the book, right? I'm fearfully and wonderfully and glorious made. I know I'm saying it wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's look at Hebrews 5 and 7. Still holding John chapter 8 and Isaiah chapter 8. That dog sounds like he want to get hold of somebody. Who in the days of his flesh, when he offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard, and that he feared. And though he were a son, yet he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. Though he were a son, he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. So it sounds like to me, if he was heard, that means a book of remembrance was written, because there is not a name under Shamahim given unto men upon which men can be saved. That means there was a book of remembrance written before this man, because Yahusha feared. Remember, he's slain from the foundation of the world. You don't remember this man crying out to his father? Whether it was in Matthew 26 when he was praying, but not my will be done, but thy will be done. Or John 17 when he was making his petition of what he desired, and the day, you're supposed to remember this here. This is a day that I've chosen for a man to afflict his soul, that his voice may be heard on high. How else is y'all gonna hear you except you fear and respect him? That's why I be looking at you, some of you niggas, you know you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. You don't fear and respect y'all. That man don't hear you. That man does not bless you for being disobedient. You might do a good deed. He'll bless you for that, but you going to hell though. See, y'all looking at, boy, I'm blessed, boy, I got this, I got that, but yet you ain't got obedience. How blessed are you? Like in reality and in truth. Some of y'all lie to yourself. That's why I'm sitting here telling you, that's why some of y'all, it's not hard for y'all to be phony, because you've been lying to yourself since the day you came out the womb. You can't be real with yourself, so there's no way you're going to be real with anybody else. Come on back to Malachi chapter 3. That's why it's easy for people to fall for lies and all other type of nonsense, because you've been lying to yourself. You can't be real with yourself. It says, and they shall be mine, saith Yahuwah of hosts, in the day that I will make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spare his own son that serve him. Revelation 21 and 7. Ain't that son you just read in Hebrews 5? He spared the Mashiach, didn't he? Why did he spare him? Because he served him. So that means he didn't walk in darkness, he walked in light. If the law is light, if that same covenant that Moses went and got caused him his face to shine, and it was them same laws written on that table of stone, how can any nigga walking the earth tell you not to keep it? And have the nerve, gall, and audacity to say he's an apostle? Get you Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7 to go along with this. And get your Revelation 2 and 5 and right behind that Galatians chapter 1. Revelation 21 and 7. Nigga might hear what I say and be mad. Guess what? Wait for it. Wait for it. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Nigga be mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. I just got to make sure y'all soul gets saved. But if you fall off to the wayside, it's y'all's will. And the only reason you fell off because you stupid, because you didn't want to believe it and obey it in the first place. He that overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his Elohim, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. If you unbelieving, that means you couldn't have believed nothing that was in the law. That's why you went contrary to it. See, because all we got to do is go look in 2 Kings chapter 17 about verse 13, where he said he sent his prophets to testify against you, to bring you back to his law, but you didn't follow it because you didn't believe in Yahuwah your Elohim as your fathers did. Ooh, book got him. So you already know what that means. If you abominable, where we going to find the things that's all abominable? Women with pants on, abominable. Anybody who do unrighteously, abominable. Being a bull dagger and a carpet munch and a pillow biter, abominable. Unclean foods, abominable. Telling lies, abominable. Bearing false witness, abominable. I was here and tell you, because I ain't got no reason to lie nan time, boy. I looked in the face. Yeah, I said it, nigga. Yeah, that's what you said. See, a lot of y'all niggas, you greatly abominable because you niggas tell lies like it's nothing. We might clown when I say, boy, that nigga spitting out lies like grape seeds, but some of y'all, that's y'all real life, though. Some of y'all, that's y'all real life, boy. I'm talking about, it ain't nothing for you to look a nigga in the eyes and tell him a lie. Some of y'all lie about insignificant stuff. Stuff you ain't even got to lie about. Just lie. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell y'all, man, don't tell somebody, boy, I'm gonna call you back. But only throw that y'all will in there. You don't never know. You could get caught up and get busy, and you might have meant to call him back and didn't do it, and now you done became a liar. You know what I'm saying? That's just on the small spectrum of stuff. But some of you niggas just lie. Where you got them shoes from? I don't even remember. Nigga, you know where you bought them shoes from, nigga. Or where you just went at. I can't even recall. Nigga, you would go. What? Some of y'all lie about. You think them little itty bitty like you going to hell. Somebody ask you, did you do this or do that? No, I ain't do it. Because you ain't real enough to go ahead and cop out to what you did. Or cop out to what you said. Or cop out to where you went. Because you a coward. If you know, see, if you don't want that shame of admitting you did something you ain't got no business, you know what the answer to that question is? Don't do it. Then you won't have to worry about it. But y'all ain't got a brain. You know what I'm saying? If I only had a brain. I know some of y'all be like, man, that nigga speak hard and harsh. Y'all need that there because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Ain't nobody else gonna look in your face and tell you about your behind and tell you how retarded and stupid you is. You need to know somebody love you. These people ain't loving you, kissing your behind, telling you lies, making you feel good about being stupid. You know the one thing I always noted about black people? The people who care about them, you don't like them. You'll kick them away. People who don't care nothing about you, you'll hold on to them, I'm talking about like a teddy bear. Some of y'all know in the last 2-3 months, you done did something you know you ain't had no business. It was somebody you were around or dealt with or had some manner of communication with who looked you right in your face and never told you you were wrong, and they knew what you were doing was wrong and they never told you. And you steady talking about you love them. But nigga, they don't love you. Just like the book say, how can you love them that hate y'all? I don't understand that. I mean, I ain't sitting there telling you can't love your family, but you know what I'm talking about. Y'all love, some of y'all love your family and your husbands or your girlfriends or your boyfriends or your wives or your kids, your co-workers, your job. Some of y'all love people more than y'all. That's why you're not gonna make it. Some of y'all love people more than y'all. That's why you're not gonna make it. Some of y'all want stuff in this life more than you want eternal life. Some of y'all want to be married more than you want to be married to Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all want an earthly companion more than you want a companion in the Shamahim. That's dangerous. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with wanting a companion. I'm saying that you're putting that before Yah. That's what I'm saying. I also tell y'all this one key thing here too. I meant to tell y'all this Wednesday too, man. Y'all be real careful about what you saying that's from Yah and what not, man. Let that man prove that stuff out before he been done showed you out to be a liar and you been done spoke presumptuously. Cause some stuff don't be Yah, man. Some stuff that's just what you want. Some stuff just time and chance. Some stuff ain't Yah's doing. I'm gonna tell you something real, man. If anything is Yah's doing, it wouldn't be no way for anybody to speak against it. If he set it up, you wouldn't be able, nobody would be able to say nothing against it. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be no, like, I mean, and plus you gonna know if it's a Yah or not. Some stuff is just time and chance. Don't mean if it was Yah, just mean it with time and chance. You know, y'all do know Solomon told you that in Ecclesiastes that some things is time and chance, right? Y'all all aware of that, right? Some things are just time and chance. You know what I'm saying? And hey, if your timing good and your chances are good, you might end up with something you want. You know what I'm saying? But when something is of Yah, you will know it. It's unmistakable. But just let stuff play itself out and prove itself out before you say that. Because I don't be wanting y'all to be sinning and you don't even realize you sinning. Because if you say something to y'all and it's not a y'all, you just sinned. You know what I'm saying? You know some stuff be a y'all. Like T was telling me like this here, man, on her job, she got a raise. All the people were talking about the standard amount that people got for a raise. And she almost got to the max. And how these people were talking so glowingly of her and great of her and all this type of stuff. Only y'all can soften the people hard up to do that. Because we know that from 1 Kings chapter 8. If you turn to me with all your heart, I'll cause the people who have taken you captive to have compassion on you. See, he the only one who could do that. Because she talking about people who've been there over a decade. And they be like, I ain't never heard of nobody getting this, to the point where she like, I'm going to keep what I got to myself. Because this going to cause some friction. You know what I'm saying? It's certain situations where you know, boy, y'all had that one there, boy. He got me out of that one there. Or he allowed this situation to come on for me to get, you'll know. But when you got to be wondering and thinking, then 9 times out of 10, he ain't had nothing to do with that. Y'all hear me? 21:8 again. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters. Oh, where we going to find idolaters at? In the law. And all liars. Where we going to find them at? In the law. Shall have their part in the lake which burn with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. You don't want no parts of that. Now get to Galatians chapter 1. And we also get Revelation chapter 2, verse 5. I'm feeling good right now. I'm ready to roll. I got a lot in my brain. I want to hit it all. Still holding Isaiah chapter 8 and John chapter 8. Y'all will, we gonna touch it. So you know what that means? If I'm feeling good and I'm ready to roll, better put your seat belts on. Better get your bookmarkers out. Better put your thinking cap on and your listening ears. You follow what I'm saying? Galatians 1 and 6 then. Well, let's get it. Holding Revelation 2 and 5. As soon as we get finished with Revelation 2 and 5, swing it on back to Isaiah chapter 8, if y'all permit, because if nothing else don't come to my mind. Revelation chapter 1, verse 6. Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. My apologies. I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Hamashiach unto another gospel. Ooh, woo. You gonna be moved? Somebody call you to some different preaching, because that's what that means. Unto another gospel or other good news, other preaching. That's all that means. Y'all know what this go back to, right? Anybody who been with me a while should know what this go back to. Who was soon removed from the grace of Hamashiach unto another gospel? Come on, gentlemen. Somebody got to know. Not Judas. He didn't hear different preaching. Eve heard different preaching. He say, listen what he said, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Hamashiach. That's just what that serpent did. He perverted what she was taught. He said, you won't die. He know you'll become that. Is that not making what he preached a perversion? Well, this nigga who's saying you ain't got to keep the law and saying that anybody who telling you to obey Torah is corrupting people and leading into bondage. He is perverting the very message which Hamashiach preached. We also still hold in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3. Listen to what he say. But though we or a Malachim from Shamahim preach any other good news, any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach another gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed. This man just came and told you, if you receive something different than what you've been taught, let that man go to hell. You seen that in the law. What happened to Satan? What happened to that serpent when he preached that different gospel? What happened to him? He got cursed. Revelation chapter 2. You got some Pepto-Bismol? That Pepto-Bismol get it done. Make you poop your life. Revelation 2 and 5. What's going on with that? What's wrong, man? Oh, I'm finna say, oh. Revelation 2 and 1. They say, y'all better sit on down somewhere. Revelation 2 and 1, what I want. Also, again, to reiterate, Pablo Creek Branch Library. Pablo Creek Branch Library. Why everybody present and everybody's lucid. Pablo Creek Branch Library. Unto the Malachim of the synagogue of Ephesians write, these things saith he that hold the 7 stars in his right hand, who walk in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou cannot bear them which are evil, and has tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and has found them liars. How would you be able to try somebody who said they're an apostle and are not? How would you be able to find them out to be a liar? Well, let's turn around and let's look. Let's go ahead and look at Galatians chapter 1 again. What would make somebody an apostle, gentlemen? Man, I'll have to look at it, man, to see what it says. Yeah, you talking about those who say they false apostles. Let me get what it is. I keep going right past it. Galatians chapter 1 and about verse 10. He say, for do I now persuade men or Elohim? Do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of a Mashiach. But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach. For you have heard of my behavior in time past in the Yahudim's religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the synagogue of Elohim and wasted it, and profited in the Yahudim's religion above many of my equals in my own nation, being more exceedingly zealous of the tradition of my fathers. But when it pleased Elohim, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, to reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. So we can ascertain that an apostle is a man who's taught by the Most High, not man. But do you notice the key thing of what he said was revealed in him? What was revealed in him? His son. And to the Lord, and you've seen that the son revealed himself to his apostles. How? By teaching them from the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms the things concerning himself, and open their understanding they may understand the scriptures. Did he not? So now we're going to have to ascertain, did Paul believe what was in the law and in the prophets then? Now, wouldn't we? So let's go. We're going to look at Acts chapter 26 then. Acts chapter 26, and I'll pick it up at about verse 3. Especially because I know thee to be an expert in all customs and questions which are among the Yahudim. Where before I beseech thee to hear me patiently. My manner of life from my youth, which was at the first among my own nation at Jerusalem, know all the Yahudim, which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of our religion, I lived a Pharisee. So what did Paul just tell you in that last verse? He just said, out of the what? So if it's the most straightest, what that mean? What that mean? The most strictest sect it could be. Hold what you got, get you Matthew chapter 7, about verse 13. So Paul said he came out the most strictest thing you could get. The most strictest thing you can get. See, that's what none of these people don't want. So if Paul say he came about the straightest sect, the strictest sect, let's see what a Mashiach say then. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which lead unto life, and few there be that find it. So that sounds like to me a Mashiach teaches straight set too. But see, the key thing is, though, he said you tried them that are apostles and found them liars. Paul claimed to be an apostle. We just seen that he said he come up out the straightest second. That's what a Mashiach say. So if you telling me you ain't got to keep no commandments, wouldn't that mean you don't come out of straight sect then? Come on back to 26, Acts 26. In verse 5, verse 6, and now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of Elohim unto our fathers. So where's the hope of that promise? Where is it located? But I'm talking about where that is located in the law. Before the man even came, that man made a covenant with Abraham. He made a covenant with Isaac. He made a covenant with Jacob. And then he turned around and made a covenant with us. And he said he made that covenant because of the oath which he swore to those men. And he promised them certain things. So that means he had to believe what were written in the law. So that way, the only way the Son could have been revealed in him is he would have had to believe what was in the law in the first place. Which means he would have had to been walking in it. You got to understand, Paul's sin was he was a blasphemer and injurious, but he did it out of ignorance and unbelief. He did not know what he was doing. When it came to the obedience of the law, that man kept that. That man said he was taught at the feet of Gamaliel, an expert in the law. You know what I'm talking about? So Paul knew the book, so you know he had to follow it. What did Paul always call himself, even though he was from the tribe of Benjamin? He called himself a Yahudim consistently, didn't he? Consistently. Because he knew what that was, because he knew the law. Why would he call himself a Yahudim? Because Deuteronomy 10 and 16 say, circumcise the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. Meaning stop bucking. Stop doing what you want to do. See, that's what some of y'all problem is. You ain't circumcised the foreskin of your heart. You still stiff-necked. You'll never become a Yahudim with that. It'll never happen. Whoo. Listen what he say now. Unto which promise our 12 tribes, instantly serving Elohim day and night, hope to come. For which hope's sake, King Agrippa, I'm accused of the Yahudim. That man said they serve the Most High day and night. How else you gonna serve him other than doing what he tell you to do? We still holding Proverbs chapter 3, 1 John chapter 2, John chapter 8, and Isaiah chapter 8. And somebody got to put their phone on mute because I can hear the echo and the feedback from your speakerphone. Drop down to verse 21 of this very same chapter. For these causes the Yahudim caught me in the temple and went about to kill me. Having therefore attained help of Elohim, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other things than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come. That a Mashiach should suffer, and that he should be the first that should rise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentile. That sounds like to me a Mashiach came, spoke according to the law of the testimony, therefore he will light in them again, now don't it? And it sounds like Paul is going from Moses and through the prophets to teach these people about a Mashiach. That means the Son is in him. For the Son to be revealed in him, that means the Ruach HaKodesh, or the word itself, got to be in him. That means there had to have been some manner of belief and obedience with Paul for the word to be in him. How else is that going to happen? Let's look at Acts 28 and let's see again. Let's see what Paul did, because you don't read Paul being taught the testimony of Mashiach by any man. You read Paul saying he was taught the perfect manner of the law at the feet of Gamaliel. But as far as the Son is concerned, Hamashiach taught him that. He said, this man is a chosen vessel unto me. But then on top of that, if he teaching a Mashiach through the volume of the word, then we're going to have to see if Paul's life line up with it too then, don't we? Acts 26, 28, and 23. Make it 22. But we desire to hear of thee when thou think for us what thou think for as concerning this sect. We know that everywhere it is spoken against. See, when you turn around and you go to talk about you a Yahudim who believe in the testimony of a Mashiach, and you talk about living clean and set apart and restraining from sin, don't you realize you've spoken against everywhere? Y'all don't realize that, do it? You've spoken against everywhere. You think it's different now? And when he had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of Elohim, persuading them concerning Yahusha, both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening. So again, we see him going through the law and the testimony. Because he say those that say they are apostles, and he showed them to be liars. Right now, Paul ain't being showed to be no liar. He manifested a Mashiach to these people. Hold on. Acts chapter 14, I think I want. He all right back there? He say he just wanted a little attention. That might be 19 that I want. Let me see what I want. Matter of fact, get 1 Corinthians chapter 9, about verse 24. We'll get around here to this other thing that I desire. But we will go to Acts chapter 20 and about verse 19. But let's read this 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. Now we got to see about the type of lifestyle Paul would promote. We know from 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Make it about verse 26. Well, 24 is cool. We know from 2 Corinthians 7 and 1, Paul say that we ought to cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit to serve Yah, to serve the Most High in the fear of Elohim and in the perfect and in Kodeshness. Let me say, because I don't want, he say perfecting Kodeshness, my apologies, in the fear of Elohim. So if we know looking at what's set apart, the only place we going to find what is set apart is in the law. Because Yahuwah himself said, be ye set apart, for I, Yahuwah, am set apart. I'm sanctified. I'm cleansed. I'm Kodesh. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. What you do, I don't do. So you need to fear me and respect me and be like I am. Which goes back to a son honoring his father. Therefore, he would be heard. Your request would be heard. See, that's what y'all sit back and look at. Don't let these people make no fool. That's why he say, I honor my father and he honor me. That's why I keep his saying. See, this man not going to answer you and you don't honor him. See, you don't honor your parent by doing what you want to do and then turn around saying, I love you. It's not honoring them. That's not respecting them. That's not giving them the homage that they're due. Why you think it's any different with y'all? You're going to do what you want to do and then you're going to turn around and say, Father, I love you. He's sitting there looking at, no, you don't. It's impossible. Verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receive the prize, so run that you may obtain. And every man that strive for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they that do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beat the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. What does it sound like Paul is saying right here? He's sitting here telling you, I control myself. That unless I've been done told somebody else not to sin, I go to hell. So that's letting me know, if we go look at the other apostles, if we go look at James and we go look at Jude and we go look at Peter, are we going to find men who going to tell you to go contrary to y'all's word? So if somebody come around and say they're an apostle and they tell you to commit sin, we have found you to be a liar. Come on, this Acts chapter 20, so I can knock out this Proverbs chapter 3. And after I knock out this Proverbs chapter 3, I can complete 1 John chapter 2, and then I can complete Isaiah 8 and John 8. So we already know how he came to bring a better and new covenant. Because we know he came to bring the Ruach HaKodesh. He came to bring eternal life. He came to complete the promise. He came to reverse the curse that was set forth in the garden. These niggas ought to be jack slapped. Talking about the apostles' doctrine. The apostles ain't never teach contrary to the law. How could they do that? When the Mashiach told them, all things that I've taught you, teach everybody else to do it. Hamashiach ain't never teach them boys to go contrary to the law. He said, my Father has given me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. Just like Moses was given a commandment on what he should say and what he should speak. He told them, teach all these people this law and these judgments that they may do them. Paul told you that in Ephesians chapter 4. He said you would have put away sin from the ignorance in your hearts that were dark, and you were alienated from the Most High through your ignorance. But he said, but you have not so learned this in Hamashiach. You ain't learned to commit sin in Hamashiach. What type of savior you got telling you can disobey? Nigga got to be a straight up down idiot fool. Any nigga who listened to him ought to burn straight in hell for listening to the dummy. All I tell you, man, don't go backwards. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell you. Don't go backwards. That's all I can tell you. Don't go backwards. You can't go from sugar to defecation, man. I'm telling y'all something real, man. I ain't the only person that got the word. You know what I'm talking about? By no stretch of the imagination. But they are not easy to find. That man say the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So just because you see all these people preaching this stuff, man, that don't mean, man, you just not finna readily find good bread, man. That stuff just ain't laying around everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Same way they try to claim that diamonds are rare, but though we know they ain't. But just according to their false claim, you just can't jump up and find diamonds anywhere. That's why it costs so much. That's why Mashiach compared the kingdom of Shamahim to somebody who found a precious jewel and took it and hid it and buried it because they knew how rare and precious this was. You know what I'm saying? You don't run across this every day. If this word was so prevalent, people wouldn't be living the way they be living. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have the ability to run from congregation to congregation or teacher to teacher because they would all be saying the same thing and you would have no choice but to get your life in line with this word. You know what I'm saying? But when you got people who can tell you if you've been married and you've been divorced and you want to be remarried, if it's a nigga who telling you can do that, then guess what you gonna do? You gonna listen to him. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to come up and keep no feast and congregate and fellowship with your brethren and your sisters and eat and do all the things that's needed to put a feast together, you know what I'm talking about? Then you ain't gonna want to hear that. If it's things you want to do on the Shabbat, you want to go to the mall, you want to hit the beach, you want to do this, then guess what you're going to be looking for? Somebody who can tell you can do that. How you going to tell people you can't keep Shabbat? So nigga, when do you have a Kodesh convocation? Because that's when he told you to have one, right? So if you don't even keep that, why are you even preaching then? Because you know we can go right in here with these apostles and find them keeping the Shabbat. You know we can find that, right? You know I'm going to show it to you, right? Because you won't walk away from here talking about you ain't know. You're going to go to hell knowing. You're going to go off and do what you want to do and you're going to go to hell knowing. I'm talking about them who know they're going to get up here and do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? If you know you don't want to do what you want to do, you know what you're going to do what y'all say do, then you know that don't pertain to you. You know what I'm talking about? Because you be like this here, I ain't going to hell because I'm going to do what the man tell me to do. You be like this here. See, luckily for y'all, we won't hit you with that old Sunday church stuff. Only reason I'm finna say it because I seen somebody clowning about it. When you going to turn and look at your neighbor. Neighbor, I ain't going to hell with you. You know what I'm saying? You going by yourself. I'm going to do what I was told. You know, some people don't want to do what they told. That's just the sad reality. Acts chapter 20, verse 18. Or make it 18. He say, serving Yahuwah with all humility of mind, and with many tears and temptations which befell me by the laying in wait of the Yahudim. Listen to what he tell him. And I have kept and how I kept back nothing that was profitable unto you, but have showed you and have taught you publicly from house to house, testifying both to the Yahudim and also to the Greeks, repentance towards Elohim. What is repentance? And what is sin? So if he was teaching repentance towards the Most High, when we know from Isaiah 59:1, he said it's your sins that have separated you from your power. So if you know he was teaching repentance towards Elohim, that means you had to be doing something to be turning from. That means you had to be disobeying Yah's word. So how you gonna tell these people that they don't gotta keep something when the man was teaching you to turn back from what you were doing? The only way you could repent towards Yah is to be doing something that Yah deemed to be wrong. Man. And faith towards our master Yahushua HaMashiach. And now behold, I go bound in the Ruach unto Jerusalem, and not knowing the things which shall befall me there, save that the Ruach HaKodesh witness in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me. But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, that I might finish my course with joy and the ministry which I received of the Master Yahushua, to testify the good news of the grace of Elohim. And now behold, I know that ye all among whom I've gone preaching the kingdom of Elohim shall see my face no more. Wherefore, I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. Now, how would Paul be able to be pure from the blood of all men? So what can we go look at in the scriptures that can back that up to where he would be free from the blood of all men? Anybody else? The watchman. The watchman. You know what I'm saying? In Ezekiel chapter 3, remember he said, I set you as a watchman. He said, if you see a man and you don't warn him, he said his blood is on your hand. He said, but if you warn him, you free from that man's blood. So that means Paul went around there telling the people, boy, all you got to sit back and look at, if he free from the blood of all men, look at Leviticus 20 and 13, just for an example. He said he free from the blood of all men, right? See, because I'm going to tell you something, the individual who teaching these people they ain't got to keep the law, his rationale is saying anything that's written in the law before Moses, you can keep it. If it come after Moses, you can't keep it. That's why they say they keep the dietary law, because Noah had it. Not knowing the law been since the foundation of the world, you idiotic fool. This, my good people, this, my people, is the definition of an imbecile. This is the definition of an imbecile. Make it 12. I'll just read. Matter of fact, I'll read 11 so you can hear this here. Because didn't Paul say he was pure from the blood of all men? Listen what Leviticus 20 and 11 say. And the man that lie with his father's wife have uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them surely shall be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man also lie with mankind as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So this is how Paul was pure from that blood, because he warned the people of that. So don't you realize when you commit sin, that blood is upon you? Which is going to take you back to what? Shed the man's blood. By man's blood, your blood got to be shed. Let his blood be on our children's children. Because every time you disobedient to this man law, you shed Hamashiach's blood, and his blood is upon you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be guilty of the man blood. Every time you disobedient to this word, you're going to find yourself guilty of this man's blood. I don't think y'all realize that. Did y'all realize that? So when these people telling you that you can go contrary to the man law, you telling people crucify him, spit in his face. Say, if you be the son of Elohim, come down off the tree and we will believe you. Ooh, woo. Hey, Proverbs chapter 3, man. I'm sitting here telling you, man, I tell you again, I ain't the only person out here preaching the word, boy, but y'all better be careful. That's all I can tell you. My son, forget not my Proverbs 3:1, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. For the length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee, bind them about thy neck and write them upon the tables of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man. If he telling you to write it on the tables of your heart, you already know what the prophecies say, what was going to be written on the tables of your heart. What was going to be written on the table of your heart? So he said, I'm going to write the Torah on your heart then. So when you turn around and you look at, the first time Torah was mentioned with Genesis 26:5. Well, stupid nigga, the man told you, will I hide from Abraham what I should do? Knowing that he shall execute justice and judgment and teach his children the way of Yahuwah. Does that not what Genesis 18:19 say? You know the reason why I'm mentioning Genesis 18:19? Because if your ways please Yah, there's nothing that he will not hold back from you in knowing. You know what I'm saying? See, I told y'all this once before. If he let you know a whole bunch of stuff at one time and drop it in your lap, you'll quit. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at when we were in the wilderness, he gradually led us along and gave you this information. You know what I'm talking about? To get you to where he wanted you to be. You know what I'm saying? When you look at now, it's gradual, give you information. I can't give you 20 pounds at one time. So I'll give you 1.5 pounds. And once you can handle that 1.5 pounds, I might give you 3 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And after you handle that 3, then I might give you 4 pounds. And then you eventually get up to that 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to gradually bring you along. Don't you realize that that's what you do with kids? You don't put a whole bunch of lesson plans in their lap, do you? You gradually bring them along till you see they digest that information, and you give them a little more, then you give them a little more, then you give them a little more. And next thing you know, they doing exactly what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Before they look up, they don't even realize they doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you teach people. You know, stupid people just drop a whole bunch of stuff and people laugh and say, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And most of y'all, if you ever been done like that, you hit overload and you just say, screw it, I'm done with it, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Got time to be messing with this junk. That's how I roll. 1 John chapter 2. He said, man, this stuff, he said, man, if you don't forget his law, man, it'll give you length of days and long life and shalom. Well, we know ain't no peace to the wicked. We know if you disobedient to y'all word, you can't be nothing but wicked, so we know you ain't got no peace. That man told you, my peace I leave unto you, not the peace the world leave. That man left you the word. Stupid niggas around here talking dumb. 1 John 2:3, nigga talking dumb. Y'all all right? We got a lot of time left. I'm only at an hour. It'll look that a lot in an hour, ain't it? First John 2:3, hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keep not his commandments is a liar, the truth is not in him. But whoso keep his word, in him truly is the love of Elohim perfected. Hereby we know that we are in him. He that saith he abide in him ought himself also to walk, even as he walked. Brethren, I have written no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment, which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning. Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shine. Come back to Isaiah chapter 8 before I even deal with what I just looked at in 1 John chapter 2. He said the darkness done passed, right? The true light shine, right? Ain't that what he said? Well, let's look at Isaiah chapter 8 then. I thank y'all for the word. Excuse me. So when we looked in verse 20, right? And it said, if they don't speak according to the law and the testimonies, because no light in them, right? We done figured that out, right? Let's look at verse 21 again. He said, they shall pass through it, hardly be stead and hungry. It shall come to pass when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their Elohim and look upward. And they shall look unto the earth and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness. What you think verses 21 and 22 could be talking about? Let's sit back and let's look at it, right? He say when they'll be hungry, they'll fret themselves. You know what that means, to fret yourself? Got a little worry in you. You know what I'm saying? He said, then they'll curse their king and their power and look up. And then he said they'll look to the earth and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish. They shall be driven to darkness. Let's look at Zechariah 12 and 10 first. What nigga in there scrubbing? Nigga say if you brushing your teeth, you brushing them hard. Say, well, you might scrub. Say you gonna scrub all the enamel out your mouth. He said, I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplications. And they shall look upon me, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourn for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. Now you know what the Mashiach say when the Son of Man be lifted up, right? In John 12 and 34, John 3 and 14, y'all remember them statements? Huh? It said, when they shall come to pass, when they hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their power and look up. Well, let's sit back and see when they were hungry and they began to fret themselves in Luke 24 and 15. Because if you begin to fret, that means you begin to worry. Let's see if they began to worry. Make it 24 and 13. Luke 24 and 13. Then get your Mark 16. And behold, matter of fact, just make it 10. It was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, and other women that were with them, which told these things unto the apostles. And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they believed them not. Don't you realize when they didn't believe that they were cursing their king and their power? They thought them women were lying. Which means so for all intents and purposes, because they relaying a message, they thought Yahuwah was lying then. Which means they had to think Yahushua was lying when he told them this already before it even happened. Did he not tell these people he was going to reign for the third day? Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre, and stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves, and departed, wondering in himself at that which was come to pass. Hold on. I'm not sure. Hold on. I'm not positive. Let me look and see. Hold on. I'm not positive. But I could have promised that it said in Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 22, they shall look unto the earth and behold trouble and darkness. He looked down in the earth, didn't it? Say he stooped down to look, didn't it? Verse 13, and behold, two of them went that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 80 furlongs. And they talked together of all these things which had happened. And it came to pass while they communed together and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were holden that they should not know him. And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that you have one to another and you are sad? That you have one to another as ye walk and are sad. And one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering, said unto him, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass there in these days? And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him concerning Yahushua of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty in word, in deed and word before Elohim and all the people. Don't y'all realize this also go to Proverbs chapter 3, where he say, my son, if you keep my law and my commandments, that'll give you good understanding in the sight of him and man. Is he not saying if he was a prophet, mighty in word and deed before Yah and man, ain't that the same thing? He obeyed. He said, I keep my father's saying. His father's saying was in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 1, son, keep my law and do what I tell you. So then the Mashiach going to turn around and tell you to keep his law and do what he tell you. He's saying how the chief priests and rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Yasharal. And besides all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came saying that they seen a vision of Malachim, which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it, even so as the woman had said, but they saw him not. We already read verse 25. He said they were fools of slow of heart. Don't that sound like they were fretting or they were a little worried? That sounded like they wasn't sure what he told them was going to happen. They were worrying. Man, I don't know what's going on. Mark chapter 16. So when they don't even sit back and realize that when they were doing it, they were cursing their king. Now then we can also flip it and look at when them people were sitting back and they were hungry, they were desiring the flesh. Because they know it was the Passover was coming, wasn't it? And they looked right on up and cursed their God and their king while they were looking right up at him. If you be the son of Elohim, come down off this tree. How can this man give us his flesh to eat? Who did this nigga think he is? Mark 16. And about verse 12. After that he appeared in another form unto two of them as they walked, and went into the country. And they went and told it unto the residue, neither believed they them. And afterwards he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. Don't you realize when you don't believe what Yah tell you to do, you cursing him? Don't you realize that? Don't you realize that? You know the curse of the law is death. The curse of the law came because they did not believe. Eve did not believe what the Most High gave to her husband, gave to Elohim to tell to her. She didn't believe what God said. Therefore, through her disobedience, she was cursing him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what you say. See, when they sat back and they looked at it and they were seeking to the dead, seeking for the living amongst the dead, they were fretting, they were worried because they didn't really know or believe if what was going to occur was actually going to happen. So when they had that anguish and they seen that darkness and be driven to darkness, they had to come to that grave to see. But at the same time, people who turn around and reject this man and do what they want to do, you're going to be driven to darkness. That's why he say you'll be put in darkness and there shall be what? Weeping and gnashing of teeth. You got to ask yourself what direction you going to go. You know, everybody love that Isaiah 8 and 20. Ain't none of y'all think that was by the Mashiach, didn't it? You just thought it was that simple, regular Hebrew stuff. Or if you don't speak to the law of the testimony, because ain't no light in you. But you don't sit back and realize this went all the way back to the law. Because Moses spoke according to the law of the testimony. It was light in him. Hamashiach come and rise from the dead after speaking and spoke by the law and the testimony. It will light in him. The book say wisdom causes a man's face to shine. The only way you're going to have wisdom is if you fear Yah. And the only way you're going to be able to begin to fear Yah is if you got the knowledge of the Kodesh. And when you got the knowledge of the Kodesh, then you should get some understanding. Because then you would know a Mashiach. And when you know what a Mashiach, you would walk as he walked. Ain't that what he said? Don't Jeremiah 6 and 16 say, seek ye the ancient paths and you'll find rest for your soul? The ancient way. The old way. Hamashiach say he the way, the truth, and the life. The way is the way of Kodesh. That's what Isaiah told you. Well, that set apart way gonna take you right back to the law, because the only way you're gonna be able to sanctify your way is to know what's sanctified and what's not. Yeah, he came and brought a better covenant, a better and greater covenant. He came to bring eternal life and to get your sins forgiven, of which bulls and goats could not do. I can't stand a nigga come with that retarded Christian stuff. That would make people start don't want to follow this in the first place. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Get your Revelation 22 real quick. Revelation 22. Revelation 22. And about verse 8. Because we're going to have to ascertain something. After we read Revelation 22 and 8, we're going to get Hosea 2 and 11. We're going to obliterate that. We ain't going to deal with not keeping no feast. We already dealt with that. I dealt with it a year and a half ago. I just dealt with it on the last day of Tabernacle, just on general principle. I might not even go that long tonight, just because we done put a lot of information in a short space. Y'all all right? 22 and 8, Revelation. And I, Yakanan, saw these things and heard them, and when I heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the Malachim, which showed me these things. Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship Elohim. What book you think he talking about? Got to be, because he couldn't have been talking about the book of Revelation. It wasn't written yet. So if this Malachim, this servant say, I keep the sayings of the book, if the Malachim doing it, then what you think Yahusha did? And if he did it, what you think he taught his servants to do? He told his servant, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. He say his law is the truth, and Hamashiach is the law made flesh. He the instructions made flesh. He say he was, get your Galatians chapter 3, before I even swing around to what I want. Then you'll go to Luke chapter 4. Then we'll go to Acts 13. Then we'll come back to the book of Revelation and seal it. And okay, I got to get Matthew chapter 12 with. Y'all just bear with me. There's a lot of stuff going through my mind right now. Stuff like this here, man, you can shoot holes through this here, man. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. 3 and 23. 22. Matter of fact, make it 21. Galatians 3 and 21. Y'all bear with me. I ain't taking no shots at nobody. I'm just saying a nigga stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get no fame off the nigga, because I don't even know the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know him. So it ain't even about him. It ain't even about the people who left, because that don't bother me either. You know what I'm saying? It's just about those that remain. I'm just gonna be honest. I just want that to be known. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with Buddy. I don't know Buddy. Buddy proved to be a false prophet. If he don't repent, hell waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? Those that let them want to listen to him, hey, you feel like he can get you where you need to be, that's all well and dandy. But if he ain't teaching you right, hell waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell you. Cause I'm letting it be known, because I know Brother Sean know what I'm talking about. Because you know, it's some people that call people out and go after people because they want a name. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a little fandom. Try to get people to say, get a little controversy. I don't know the dude. I don't particularly care to want to know him. Not personally, because if that's what you teaching, we'll never meet an agreement. You know what I'm saying? We'll never meet an agreement. I don't believe that. So if I got to be corrupting people and bringing them into bondage, hey man, that's what it's going to be. At the end of the day, y'all going to prove it out. Huh? Wouldn't you say? Y'all going to prove it out. Y'all gonna prove it out. You know what I'm saying? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Is the law then against the promises of Elohim? Elohim forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, truly righteousness should have been of the law. Because he say Hamashiach came to teach us the righteousness which was in the law of Moses. If that don't sound like Christian doctrine, I do not know what would. I mean, I don't. What he was telling you was, because you know from Deuteronomy 6:25, if you do all the things in this law, you'll be righteous before the Most High. But it wasn't the law itself that was going to make you righteous before the Most High, because you supposed to do what I tell you anyway. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to believe in me. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to trust in me. He say, love him with all your heart, strength, soul, and mind. See, a lot of y'all don't love this man with every ounce of your being. You love this man when it's convenient for you. See, a lot of y'all will do like King Asa did. You'll love Yah till he bring you out the situation you in, and then you'll go worship the gods of the people you just came from defeating. And then when somebody come and tell you, man, what you doing? Man, get out my face before I kill you. And then that prophet going to be like, now I know for a surety Yah has determined to slay you. So I'm going to tell you something. You do something stupid, I'm going to go off on you. Sometimes I go off on you in private. You know it's got to be, if I embarrass you in front of everybody, it's not just for you. One, you should be shamed, and we're going to shame you in front of everybody so that others may know that they might not sin. But it's going to be for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And if you get upset about it, hey man, don't be stupid. That's all I can tell you. Stop being stupid. That's all I can tell you. There's a remedy to not get rebuked. Stop being stupid. That's the remedy for the whole situation. But you know what y'all remedy is for? Don't let me get caught doing something stupid. That's y'all remedy. That's y'all remedy. You know, I had told Brother Trav, man, and Corey and Troy, because I was thinking about it. I say, man, you know, and y'all timing is good. And y'all know what he was doing. I say, but I wonder what Brother Goldie would think about this situation right now. What individual listening to that? You know, he made a post right before he died. You know what that post said? Any of y'all know what that post that he made right before he died? It was a very profound post that he made right before he died. Any of y'all know what it was? Anybody? Hold on, y'all. I'm going to tell you what it was. I'm going to tell you what it was. I'm going to tell you what it was. And you know, it's a very, very powerful statement, what it was that he said. He was contemplating on something that I think I had just preached on, or something that I may have said to him. You know, Judas sat down with a Mashiach for 3.5 years, right? So what that mean if he sat down with a Mashiach for 3.5 years? He sat there and he listened to everything that man said and didn't hear a single solitary word of it. Not a single solitary word of it. Not a single word of it. None of it resonated. None of it fell. And you got to make sure that you ain't sitting there and you listening, but you ain't catching none of it. See, because some of y'all, he ain't going to have to separate and just fall off. You going to sit right here and you going to hear the word and you going to go to hell hearing it. Just like Judas died hearing it. And you know what Judas tried to do after he did what he did? He tried to repent, didn't he? Ain't no repenting cause you done. Ain't no repenting cause you done. Ain't no repentance for you cause you done. Cause you sat right there and you heard it and you heard it and you heard it. You heard it in public, you heard it in private, but yet you still wanted to go do what you wanted to do. See, y'all hear this stuff, it only scare you when you hear it. It only give you a jolt of reality when you hear it. But after you go lay down or go take you a dump or go whatever it is that you do, it goes away. And you right back to the low down, dirty, hypocritical, fake, phony, nasty, no good bastard nigga that you always been. Only a handful of y'all will hear that and it'll resonate in your heart and you'll hide it there. And you'll weigh it. and you're considerate, and you'll conform yourself into the ways and image of the Most High, and walk how you supposed to. Man, T finna make me go off on it too. See, that's why I don't like black people. Because they don't do stuff efficiently. That's why I don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at this stuff, man. You got to look at either or. Our law say, man, I put before you blessing and cursing, life and death, therefore choose life. It's right before your face. Every time the word is brought, life and death is right before your eyesight. Which one you gonna choose? Because I'm telling y'all right now, you can't have Yah and the world. You can't have Yah and your people. You know what I'm saying? You might have hopes and dreams and goals, but if those hopes, dreams, and goals are contrary to the word, you can't have that and Yah. Because I ain't saying you can't have your hopes, dreams, and goals as long as they don't interfere with the word. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all got a desire to do, whatever y'all got a goal to do, whatever y'all dreaming to do, or I should say dream, whatever you have a vision to accomplish in your mind is a better set of words to use. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. But it can't interfere with Yah though. And if you think you gonna get both, you going to hell. You can't have your job and Yah. If your job calls you to go against Yah, you can't go to school and have Yah if school gonna cause you to go against Yah. Y'all don't think about stuff like that though. You think you can have everything. You think you can have everything. But you can't get everything. I remember a girl told me, you think we can make it till I'm 40? At the time, she was like 25. And I was like 33. Matter of fact, I wasn't even that old. Man, I was like, I was 31. And she was 25. I say, nigga, I might not make it to 40 for this man get back here. Because her mind was, let me do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And then after I do what I want to do, then I'm going to come back and serve y'all. Oh, no, you going to hell. See, you don't get to go do what you want to do and then think you can slide back. See, she might have had that chance if she would have never heard nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you heard something. Oh, you going to hell. And I'm going to show y'all something when it comes along the lines of that, because she used to scream, I want this knowledge. It's too late for some of y'all now. You done heard it. Ain't no going by. You might as well have never heard it. It was better for you to never heard it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't realize that though. It was better for you never to have known. Verse 22, but the scripture had concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Yahushua HaMashiach might be given to them that believe. That's why he had to conclude everybody to sin. Of course, if everybody kept the law, then what purpose was to send my son to die? Ain't no problem with the law. The problem with you. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterward be revealed. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto a Mashiach, that we might be justified by faith. That means the Torah is instruction. That means the Torah was to point you to a Mashiach. Now, not only to the things that testify of him, that you might believe that he was who he said he was, but then that you would follow him. Why would a man tell you to follow his path if his path is the very instructions that you say that he was the righteousness of and you ain't got to keep? That is the definition of stupidity. That's an asinine statement all in itself. Hosea 2:11. Is y'all all right? I hear nigga calls dropping everywhere. Is they quit? Is it just kicking y'all off as niggas, or the niggas just quitting? Don't pay me no mind, man. I'm just talking. Don't pay me no mind. I know the thing be kicking people off, but just kick me off. Don't pay me no mind. Don't entertain that. He said, I will also cause all her mirth to cease. You know what mirth is, right? That's just a good time. You know what I'm saying? Her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burnt incense to them. She decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgat me, saith Yahuwah. Now, you know, this is a story where Hosea, where he was told to go marry a whore. And after he was told to go marry a whore, see, when you look in verse 1, he told her to plead with his mother, for verse 2, because she's not my wife, and I'm not her husband. Let her get that whoredoms and them adulteries out of my eyesight. So I ain't gonna have her mercy on her kids, because they children of whoredoms. And all this good old stuff. But verse 11 is what this man used to say, see, we ain't got to keep the Sabbath and the feast days no more. He said, I will cause them to cease. Yes, it was. Let's look at Hebrews chapter 1. When he talking about mirth and he calls them to cease, that means he gonna cause rest to cease, right? I'm gonna call the new moon to cease, which means a new month, right? I'm gonna cause all the feasts to cease. I'm gonna cause the Shabbats to cease. I'm gonna cause all this stuff to cease. He's saying, I'm gonna cause it to cease, and I'm gonna burn your fig trees and your leaves and your branches and all that, and I'm gonna visit upon you the sin of Balaam. He said, I'm gonna burn them too, right? All you gotta realize is, man, that's who said he was the branch? Hamashiach. Who said he was the vine? Hamashiach. He caused all that stuff to cease for that man. He ain't had no rest because they came to kill him. Remember, he said ain't no rest for the wicked. He wasn't wicked, but he became sin. Therefore, he had no rest. They beat the man to oblivion. What peace did he have in that situation? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a part of the feast days. That ceased. He didn't get no rest. All that ceased. They took him up there. Why? Because he had to visit upon him the sin of Balaam. Because we had forgot Yah for all these sins. All this stuff we were doing what we want to do. We went after Balaam. We decked ourselves with all this stuff. He took all that out on that man. Therefore, he caused all that mirth, that good time to be over with. Because, you know, you have a little mirth, you know what you be doing? You be singing and stuff, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Don't you realize before they came and got that man in Matthew 26, they sung a hymn? Don't you realize he had a feast and they had a son? He caused all that to cease when it was time for him to die, though, didn't he? Come on, man. Because we know Shabbat mean rest, right? He ain't get no rest. He ain't get no rest when he called that to cease when it was time for him to come get him to visit upon him the sin of Balaam. He wasn't all that was over with. He had to stop it. So did he get rest? No. Solemn feast day means sadness. He wasn't none of that. All that stopped when he was being killed. But guess what? When he got up from the dead, business as usual. What I just asked for. Hebrews chapter 1. Hebrews chapter 1 and about verse 9, verse 10. Verse 9 is good in itself. Why not? You know, why not? Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore, Elohim, even thy Elohim, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellow. How you going to say you ain't got to keep the man law? Man say he hates sin. Man say he hate it. So guess what that means if you around here sinning? That means that man hates you while you in that state. That means if you in that state, then you need to do the opposite, which is to do the things that he loved, which is righteousness. Which is the things that are contained in his law and in his prophets, which would be encapsulated in your faith and belief and obedience to Yahushua HaMashiach, because you would walk even as he walked, that the love of Elohim might be perfected in you. You would walk the same path. The path is the highway of Kodesh. You would walk that. That means you wouldn't do nothing contrary to the man law. That man told you in the 119th division of Psalms, blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who keep the law of Yahuwah with the whole heart. They do no iniquity. You undefiled in the way, that means you clean. Hamashiach came to make you clean. He said you are clean from the words that I spoke unto you. That means you clean from the instructions that I gave you. That man ain't come and preach nothing different. See, we ain't going to take the usual tack that people take, Matthew 5:17 and all that other stuff. There's no need for that. You understand what I'm saying? There's no need for that. Let's look at the manner of his behavior and his faith and obedience to his father. And did he turn around and teach that to those who followed him? Because we know he said that he that commits sin is the servant of sin, and the servant abide not in the house forever. See, we as Yahudim know, that take us back to Ishmael or Isaac, because he was a child of the flesh. He can't abide in the house. See, we know he that commits sin is of the flesh, and those that are of the flesh cannot plead the Most High, and are not subject to the law of Elohim, neither indeed can be. See, a carnal-minded individual can't take heed to a spiritual individual. That's why he said we have the mind of a Mashiach, who have instructed us, who have instructed the mind of Yahuwah, who has instructed the mind of a Mashiach. Well, the Father instructed a Mashiach, and a Mashiach instructed us that we might have his mind, because he said, let this same mind be in you that was in Yahushua HaMashiach, who thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim. And we know our law say ain't no sin with Yah. So if it ain't no sin with Yah, that means Yah keep his own laws. He keep his own word. So that means the Son came and did the same thing, which means he taught that to us. Niggas ought to be jack slap. Was that clear for you? Like Pac say, is it clear for you? Can you see me? He's saying, thou, Yahuwah, in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the Shamahim are the works of thine hands. And they shall perish, hold on, they shall perish, but thou remain. And they all shall wax old as doth a garment. And as a vesture shalt thou fold them up. And they shall be changed, but thou art the same. And thy years shall not fail. That man say he ain't gonna change. See, that's why you ought to love Yahuwah, because he the same. That's why you got to love Yahushua, because he the same. That means that's consistency. See, you niggas change. The word ain't changing. See, that's consistency. That's every day, all day. You know, I had a t-shirts, man, that I used to wear a lot. Once we stopped dealing with Jordan, I got rid of them. I didn't really buy the t-shirts because they were Jordan. I had quite a few of them, if you remember, the little purple, Carolina blue, red, black. I liked the slogan that was on the shirt. The slogan on the shirt was every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. Because what came to my mind the first time I seen that t-shirt was take up your cross daily and follow me. You know what I'm saying? That's what, when I first seen that t-shirt, Luke 9:23 is what came to my mind. Every single day, deny yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even when that's where Paul get that saying, I keep my body under subjection. I deny myself every single day. See, these people playing games out here with your soul. Some of y'all playing games with your own soul. Hey, you do what you want to. Luke chapter 4. That's all I can tell you. Luke 4:16. Some of this stuff rudimentary. Some of it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm trying to prove a point. That's why I ain't really spend too much time on the stupidity that the nigga uttered. 4:14, actually. I'm telling you, man. It's your life, man. It's your life. Do with it as you wish. But just know that there are consequences and repercussions. It's consequences and repercussions. It's consequences and repercussions. And if you man or woman enough to sin, be man and woman enough to deal with, come along with that. Y'all hear me? Be man and woman enough to deal with it. Don't come with all that boo-hoo crying. You do something stupid, be able to take the rebuke that come with it. 'Cause I come hard, man. I'm from Duval County, man. You know, some of y'all, man, I done spoke to y'all privately and corrected y'all on stuff and didn't go off on you and all. Cause some of y'all, like I done went off on y'all and did something stupid and I go off on you hard every time. I ain't went off hard on you every time. But when I reach a certain level, I will go slap off on you, because that means I'm tired of telling you the same thing. Or I done preached on something and I seen you do the direct opposite. That means ain't no way in the world you can respect me or what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. Therefore, since you don't respect me, I'm going in. I'm going in. Because maybe that shame you'll feel, maybe it might cause you to consider to change your life today. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to motivate you to do, to change your life, change your thinking, change your ways, change your doings. That's why some of y'all do stuff and you be like, I don't understand how somebody can take that wrong. Because, nigga, that's wicked, man. That's evil. That's perverted. You so retarded. You doing stupid stuff. You don't even realize how dumb and stupid it is. You've been doing evil so long, you do it without effort. Without even realizing you doing it. Because you don't really be cognizant of what you're doing. Because a lot of y'all are selfish. You only care about what you want at the expense of all others. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to do most of y'all in. Some of y'all be ready to give people advice and counsel. Don't even follow your own advice and counsel. How you going to advise somebody to do something you don't do it yourself? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Do what you want. Yahushua returned in the power of the Ruach into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. And he taught in their synagogues, glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, as his custom was. He went into the synagogue on the Shabbat day and stood up for to read. What does that mean that was his custom? That mean that was his way. You know what I'm saying? That was his normal routine. Now, we know the Malachim kept the Shabbat because they didn't come to roll the stone away till after it was over. Because they said they keep the sayings of the book. We know the law is called what? The book of the law. That's what it's called. So if the Malachim say he keep the sayings of the book, then guess what he was doing? He was keeping Shabbat too. So somebody's going to hell. Your excuse is, he said, come unto me and I'll give you rest. You don't got to do this. That's what you telling people? That's what you basing your salvation on? You know what I'm saying? No, you just want to do what you want to do on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons. You know what I'm saying? That was more important to you. You know, it takes something to say, you know what? 24 hours, no TV, no web surfing. You know what I'm saying? No clubbing, no mall, no grocery store. You saying I'm willing to give something up to get something later. A lot of people ain't willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all sit and complain, man, that nigga talk too long. Man, he preached too long. You know what I'm saying? All this, I'll just be ready for it to be over. You just like what he said in Amos. When will the Shabbat be gone that we can plant corn? You know what I'm saying? You waiting for it to be over because your heart's not really with y'all. You just doing something just to be doing it, but your heart's not in it. Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13. And about verse 41. Make it 40. Is everybody all right tonight? I feel magnificent. I don't know about y'all. I feel magnificent. He probably don't. He got to poop. Beware therefore lest that come upon you which is spoken of in the prophets. Behold, you despisers and wonders and perish, for I work a work in your days, a work which you shall no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. And when the Yahudim were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. So if they asking that these words could be preached to them the next Sabbath, then what day is it? And if they asking to come around there the next Shabbat, then guess what that mean the people were doing after Hamashiach rose from the dead? Let's look at Matthew chapter 12 first. Then Revelation chapter 1. I can see how somebody could work somebody on the feast days. I don't see how they could work you on the Shabbat though. Get James chapter 5 and go along with it. I don't see how they could get you with that one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, I already know the light ain't in them. You ain't got the spirit, so I already know that's it. That ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even see how you let a nigga fool you with that one, though. How you let a nigga get you with that one? 12 and 6. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. And if you had known what this mean, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, you would have not condemned the guiltless, for the Son of Man is master even of the Shabbat day. And you know, many times the people wanted to kill him for do what? Healing on the Shabbat, right? Doing stuff on that, right? So you know he was keeping it. You know what I'm saying? Now let's look at James 5 before we look at Revelation chapter 1. Because if he the master of the Shabbat, like he said in Matthew 12, that means he the ruler of it, ain't he? That mean I govern that. Let me see. I'm missing another person. Like it's probably right here in my face. James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your misery shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have reaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, cry, and the cries of them which have reaped are enter into the ears of the Lord of Shabbat. So that means he's the master of this then. That means if he the master, that means if I be a master, where's my fear, right? Where's my honor and my respect? I mean, if I'm the master of it and I'm over that, that means I would respect that you keep that then, wouldn't I? If you the master of the house expects for you to obey his rules in his house, doesn't it? So that means if he's the master of the Shabbat, that means he would expect you to obey the rules of the Shabbat, now wouldn't it? So why would an ignorant nigga think that's done and over with and you ain't got to do it? Revelation chapter 1. I'm just telling you, I know some of you niggas probably teetering on the edge about you don't want to keep the Shabbat no more. I know somebody teetering. There's some stuff out there you want to go do. I already know. 1 and 9. I already know. Y'all, some of y'all on the fence. Tired of this stuff, man. It's the straightest sect and man, all this type of stuff, man. Shoot, boy. I want to be a little loose. You just like a woman with a loose vagina. Good for nothing. Can't do nothing with it. Throw it back on the pile. Put that thing, what they call that thing? Throw it in the junkyard. Scrap metal. He said, I, Yachanan, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation, and in the kingdom and patience of Yahushua HaMashiach, was in the isle that is called Patmos, for the word of Elohim and for the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. That means this man was in exile, not only for testifying of the Son, but for keeping the word. I was in the Ruach on the Master's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. Whose day was it? Whose day was it? So what day is that? So that means that man was keeping that even in exile. Oh, can't hit me with you can't keep Shabbat in captivity, because that's where John is. He's on the Isle of Patmos, exile. Is he not? Sound like to me that those Shabbats ain't ceased then, did it? If John on the Isle of Patmos holding it down. Y'all didn't expect me to take that track to show it, did it? You know, you got some people, they got their standard way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to keep it a little flavorful. You know what I'm saying? Keep y'all balanced. That's what a good play caller. Go ahead, Corey. Yeah, you know, that's what a good play caller do. You know what I'm saying? Offensive coordinator. Keep the defense off balance. They'll never know what's coming. It's third. You looking for a handoff on this play? We do a play action rollout. Hit you for a 40-yard gain. You wasn't expecting that. You was expecting to run up the middle. That ain't what you got, though. That ain't what you got. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel chapter 14. Ezekiel 14 and about verse 7. Make it 6. Ezekiel 14 and 6. See, this is what happened, man. Why you got to be careful. That's why you got to be careful. Paul said if you go following after any other preaching, let him be accursed, right? Let that person be accursed, right? So don't you know if you go after that person and he say to let them be accursed, then what means it's going to happen to you? Okay. Therefore say unto the house of Yasharal, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, repent and turn yourselves from your idols. And you know what is idolatry? Stubbornness. I'm going to do what I want to do. So don't you realize when you turn around and do what you want to do, you are idolatrous. I don't want to hear no excuses, no nothing, no this, no that, no this, that, and the third. You's an idolater, nigga, till you start doing what you're told to do. And turn away your faces from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Yasharal or of the stranger that sojourned in Yasharal would separate himself from me and set up idols in his heart and put the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and come to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I, Yahuwah, will answer him by myself. And I will set my face against that man, and I will make him a sign in a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. And if the prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, Yahuwah, have deceived that prophet, and will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Yasharal. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity, and the punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seek unto him. That the house of Yasharal may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted any more with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their Elohim. That man just say, boy, if a prophet be deceived, I lied to him. So if that man out here telling you can break the Shabbat, you ain't got to keep no feast, you ain't got to keep no law, guess who deceived him? Just like in 1 Kings chapter 22, he deceived them prophets. And he said, whoever comes seek unto those prophets, that punishment going to be the same as that prophet. That king died. He sought unto him. He answered him himself too. See, Jehoshaphat say, man, ain't nobody else around here. He say, no, I don't like that dude. He speak evil of me, man. You know, the master told you that in the 23rd chapter of Matthew that the scribes and Pharisees compass sand, land, and sea to make one proselyte, and when he's made, he's too far more the child of hell than they are. Right? When you turn around and look at it, man, just like he told you in Lamentations, man, these men are not seeking out the cause of your banishment, that your captivity might be turned. Because you still in bondage to sin, you still held captive to it. And when you seek unto these people, you're going to be accursed just like he is. Because Yah ain't never told any person at any time not to obey his word. He's never told nobody to do that. When Peter got that vision of eating unclean food, the first thing he said, not so. Nothing abominable has ever come into my mouth. Because he knew that Yahuwah would never instruct him. He knew Yahusha would never instruct him to do any such thing. So when people come up telling you to do things, all you got to do is think back to the garden. She was told what to do. He came with another teaching contrary to what you had been told to do. But because it looked good to her and her lust was on it, she went after it. See, the only way somebody can come get you with something, with some more erroneous and felonious doctrine, is because it looked good to you and your lusts were already on it. You know, see, a lot of y'all will look at stuff, see, I won't fall for no false doctrine. No, you won't fall for something that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? See, for some of you women, could nobody get you with uh multiple wives if you ain't willing to share no man. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get got with that because your mind ain't set on that. But if you don't want to give up no jewelry and a nigga come around and make that sound good, you might not. You might go for that because your eyes say it look good and your heart already set on it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come around here because I mention this because dudes do it. Dudes post all the time about how y'all can wear pants. If you wanted to wear pants and he came with that, you'll go for it because your heart was already set on it. If a man came to one of you brothers and say, it ain't fornication, having sex and you ain't married, you could try a concubine out, and he spins something and it make it sound good because your eyes say it look good and your heart already set on it, you'll go do it. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. If your mind, if it look good to your eyes, it's appealing to you, and your heart is set on that because that's something that you want to do, it ain't gonna take much for somebody to preach something to get you to go do it. And see, some of y'all won't go do it, not because you fear y'all, but because you don't want nobody to say that you went and did it. See, you worry about what the people gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And what the people gonna think. That's how I know you phony. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna do something because, boy, I ain't gonna shame y'all, boy, I ain't doing that. All you worried about is your appearance of righteousness. That's all you worry about. Some of y'all, that's all you worry about. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll tell y'all something, man. I would do this whether y'all were here or whether y'all weren't here. If it was just me and Lil Muffin, I'd still be going. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. Because when it was just me and Lil Muffin, I ain't never ratchet down or nothing to be like this here. Still was going, wasn't it? Didn't matter. Wasn't even thinking about, oh man, another person gonna come and another person gonna come. Or somebody gonna come and they gonna leave and this, that, that, and the other. Ain't none of that stuff crossed my mind because that didn't really make no matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I was really focused on, at that time, 3 people. 2 of them doing what they supposed to be doing. 1 of them on their way. You know what I'm saying? To somewhere they don't want to be. At that time that I'm referring to, I was only really concerned about 3 people. And that's it. There was other people who were listening, you know what I'm saying, who were around, but I could tell, like, you know what I'm saying, it was only so far they were going to go. You know what I'm saying? But I was only concerned with 3 people that I'm talking about dealing with in the flesh, day in and day out. And 2 of them doing what they supposed to be doing. They doing it right now as we speak. The other one on their way to hell. And guess what? She sat and heard the word every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? Every day, all day. Every day, all day. Sat right there and heard it, just like Judas, and didn't take heed to none of it. And some of y'all sit here every week, might even go on the YouTube channels and look at stuff every week and don't take heed to none of it. And you're going to have to look at is, if you don't take heed to none of it, you in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? You in a bad spot. A real bad spot. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell you about that. You're in a bad spot. You know, matter of fact, let me sit back and see that. Let me finish this John chapter 8. That's what we ain't finished. I'm just telling y'all, man, y'all better think about the stuff y'all be doing. Better think about the way you're going. That's all I can tell you. John 8 and 12. Because I be looking at some of the stuff y'all be doing. It's like this here, man. Come and tell you something, at least with me. I put it to you this way. Just to give you the difference. Like this here. I would say, T might think she hard, but y'all better be glad. Y'all would rather T be in charge than say I would be. You know why? Because T like to overlook stuff and forget stuff and underplay stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And all this type of stuff and minimize stuff. The way y'all probably wouldn't get. She might say some stuff to y'all But she ain't really gonna go in because she done told me like this. She'll forget stuff that people do that's sour. Or she'll know something is sour and then something come up and she'll try to minimize how sour that was. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't do that. So I sit back and I seen that was sour. I ain't gonna give you no pass. You know what I'm talking about? Or none of that. Come and sit back and see that there. You know that's what that was. You know that's what that was. And sometimes it be a hard, bitter truth, because sometimes, I ain't gonna say it's that T is naive on this here. She don't necessarily want to see the evil or the what's the better word or adjective to put before I put before the word? Or the nefarious machinations of a lot of people's mind or the junk they be putting. You know what I'm saying? She really like wanted to see people in the best light possible. That's why she can forget stuff that people done. Even if it was not even that long before that they did it to her. You know what I'm saying? See, I can forgive. I don't forget though. I sit back and I watch, I peep. I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to run no game on me. You could think you running it on me all you want. You could think I'm stupid. I could be like this here, man. You know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff. Say this and say that. But in the back of my mind, I'd be like, you know what? I still got to watch this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't proved yourself out that you're the individual that you're professing yourself to be. Or your behavior is not conducive to what you're claiming to be. And it ain't just got to be no outright sinning. It's small things. It's subtle things. It's indirect things. You know what I'm saying? That I'm sitting back and seeing that are tales to your character. Not your personality. I'm talking about your character. Because I told y'all before, you can change your character. You can't change your personality though. See, your personality and your character are two different things. Your personality is who you are. Your character is what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can change what you do. Like I told Corey earlier this afternoon, in yesterday, might as well say. A lot of behaviors are learned. So that means they can be unlearned. Because I would tell them people do stuff and you've been doing stuff for so long that you'll do it and don't even realize that you do it. And when somebody check you and tell you you did it, you'll kick, fight, and scream because you don't want to acknowledge you did that because you don't realize you've been doing it because you've been doing that for so long that you do it without thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a repetitive, consistent behavior that you have done for an extended period of time. So in your mind, when you're doing certain things, it may not be as bad to you as it actually is by product of what you've done. You know what I'm saying? See, that's learned behavior. That means you can unlearn that. But you have to be willing to unlearn that. Because a lot of learned behavior you picked up probably not willingly wanting to learn it. You know what I'm saying? You probably picked it up from your environment or the people around you. You know what I'm talking about? Or the things that they taught or the examples that they set. Therefore, that's why you follow behind that. So now when you turn around and you looking at following Yahweh, you have to empty out your whole mind and unlearn all that bad behavior and learn Yah's behavior. You got to take on his mind. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. That's why he set men up who will actually walk in his way. That's why Paul told you in 1 Corinthians 11:1. He said that y'all knew the ordinances as I delivered it, you walk in them. You know where the ordinance is at. That's in the law. What ordinances was he delivering other than the ordinances in the law? He said, you know how just and blamelessly we walked among you. That's going to take you back to the law. That's where he get this from. Because he was showing a pattern of behavior so that you can see me because I took on this man's mind. You'll see me walking in this man's way that you would want to follow and learn this behavior, not just by my word, but my example. But see, a lot of stuff y'all be doing, y'all do some sour stuff. And you don't even realize that stuff be sour. And then you get upset when somebody tell you that it's sour because you wouldn't believe that you've done something so sour, but you doing it though. You know what I'm saying? The example that I give y'all leave for me was I used to cuss so much that I could cuss and not even know that that's what I was doing because I had done it so much that you could do it unconsciously. Not meaning you sleep in cussing, but you can do it without your realization. Y'all need to look at yourself when it comes to that type of stuff. A lot of you niggas don't think before you act. A lot of niggas don't think before you speak. When I say niggas, I'm talking about those of y'all that's doing stupid stuff. If you're not doing stupid stuff like that, it don't pertain to you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't think before you act. You don't think before you speak. And be ready to want to correct the next person. That's why he told you, judge not lest you be judged. You better get that beam out your eye, little buddy. Get your stuff right. At the same time, that don't mean you can't tell somebody, son. You know what I'm saying? But you better make sure your stuff right so they can't turn back around and say, well, nigga, you be doing woo, woo, woo. See, y'all don't look at that type of stuff. You don't look at that type of stuff. Man, this ain't about who's the best. I'm going to tell y'all this here, man. I done said this once, I say it again. This thing is not a competition. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to saving your soul and dealing with this word, this thing is not a competition. You don't need to be comparing yourself to this person or that person. The only person you need to be comparing yourself to is a Mashiach. That's it. That's the only person you need to be comparing yourself to. When you get yourself in that competition and comparing each other and this, that, there, and the third, that's carnal. I'm telling you that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You want to compete in the gym. Oh, he lifting 200. I'm going to lift 210. You know what I'm saying? You competing on the basketball court and racing or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But some stuff, boy, you got to know how to ratchet that stuff down, boy. Get your minds right. John chapter 8, though. You start at verse 12. So then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, excuse me, I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, Thou bear record of thyself, thy record is not true. Yahushua answered and said unto them, Though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true, for I know whence I came and whither I go, but you cannot tell whence I came and whither I go. Ye judge after the flesh, I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true, for I am not alone, but I and the Father that sent me. You know the reason why he would sit back and say that he wouldn't be able to be judged by it? Because he was a spiritual man. Who could judge him? Same way that Korah and Miriam and Aaron tried to judge Moses. You know what I'm saying? He was a spiritual man. How could he be judged by any of them? Who ended up judging him? Y'all did. He wasn't judged by no man. Even when you look at a Mashiach, them people thinking they taking him to the judgment hall. He wasn't judged by no man. Y'all judged him. Y'all judged him. That's why he told them people, he said, you judge after the flesh. I judge no man. He said, but if I did, my judgment is true. Because I'm judging according to the word. See, that's what some of y'all problem is. Y'all judge after the flesh. You know what I'm saying? That's how you judge. You don't judge after the word. You don't judge righteously. And some of y'all don't realize if you feel like somebody is judging after the flesh, it's really only based off what you say and what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, some of y'all are so transparent. Y'all like a mirror. Y'all like a pool of water. Then look in it and see their face. You that transparent in what you do. That's why I can't say for some of y'all, I don't see how any of y'all fell for any of the game you ran when you were in the world, because your game is garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what city some of y'all was in, boy. Some of y'all would have got killed in Duval County with that junk y'all be pulling. You would have got ate alive. Niggas see you coming a mile away with that raggedy old game. See, me, myself, I ain't run no game. I was like what Andre 3000 say, man. He say, man, I bet you ain't never heard of a player with no game. Say, tell the truth to get what I want and shot it with no shame. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never tell lies or none of that to get what I want. I just told the truth, man. Shot it with no shame. If you gonna go for it, you gonna go for it. If you ain't, you ain't. I ain't got no time to lie to you. Run game for what? You know what I'm saying? Run game for what? Either you with it or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Run game for what? I ain't never wasted my time running no game on no man, running no game on no woman. Especially not no woman. You either gonna get down or you ain't. If you ain't, oh well. Got no time for that. But see, some of y'all were taught to run game and you thought your game was good. You was that poor broke nigga at the bus station trying to hit a nigga with 3-card Molly. Nigga sit there, see how you messing with the cards. Man, Matthew 5:17. Everybody, y'all cool? Y'all ain't dead, is it? Think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. For truly I say unto you, till Shamahim and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of Shamahim. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of Shamahim. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of Shamahim. Praise ye Yah for Yahushua HaMashiach in the word. Y'all understood all this stuff this evening?